On this special road trip episode of Engine Block,
we're getting you ready for the big Indian Grand Prix.
we sit down with all the heavyweights of the Indian motorsport scene,
We shadow the drivers experiencing India.
and there's plenty of racing too. Petrol heads, start your engines. Welcome guys to this very special episode of Engine Block, and as you can see, we are back in India and I've got the lovely Divya with me again. Welcome to the show, Divya.
Thanks, Sanjeev. Welcome back to India for the second edition of the Indian Grand Prix. We are eagerly waiting for the race weekend because we only get a taste of it once in a year.
I know now, this is the second time running of this event. You live in Delhi. How excited are the people about Formula One here?
I think we all are very excited. We are waiting for it because we want a break from cricket, and we have an Indian presence. We have a race, we have a driver, and we have a team there.
Absolutely right indeed, and we're going to hear from them on this show. But first, let's start by rewinding the clock 12 months ago and send you back to the Wood International Circuit,
where a certain Sebastian Vettel bagged victory from pole. Here's how the race panned out last year round.
And the Grand Prix of India is go. Good start from Sebastian Vettel. Mark Webber tucks into that second place. And McLaren making a move down the inside. A little bit of a twitch from Fernando Alonso. It's lost him his place. And there's a challenge for second place. Lewis Hamilton going around the outside of Mark Webber. And that is just what this race needs. And Alonso trying to use the slipstream. Now he'll have that DRS wing open as well. And the Ferrari only just easing its way past. Oh, and Felipe, what were you thinking about? And heading to the checkered flag, which is being waved by Sachin Tendulkar as it's victory for Sebastian Vettel, the winner of the first ever Indian Grand Prix.
That was how the inaugural Indian Grand Prix panned out last year. Sebastian Vettel took that victory from pole and completed the Grand Slalom by bagging the fastest lap as well. Joining him on the podium were Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso.
Now there's one family that's been responsible for fanning the flames of motorsports here in India, the Chandhoks. And recently Paula sat down with Vicky Chandhok to get his take of the current motorsport scene here in India.
Vicky, thank you so much for your time. When we talk about pioneers in terms of this particular realm, that has to be you. Just talk us through how many years of affiliation you've had with motorsport in your country.
Well, my personal affiliation with motorsport, I think, has been from the day I was born, literally like how Karun's was. That's because my father founded the Federation of Motorsports Clubs of India, was involved in literally one of the founding fathers of the sport. So it's literally like, I think, generics in our family.
It's in the blood, shall we say. So today, here you are taking over from your father's role as a president of the motor clubs in India, and you've been integral in terms of setting up what was the inaugural Indian Grand Prix last year. First of all, let's talk about how you felt that unfolded.
Well, to be honest, as soon as we were told after the event that it was the best organized event for the year, I think that gave it such a huge sense of pride, not just for me personally, but because of the probably 8,000 people that were involved with it.
Do you think that inaugural Grand Prix did a lot in terms of bringing more fans into the sport?
One is, Paula, bringing fans into the sport. This event came across, and the way it ran globally, it's telecast everywhere, and suddenly everyone said, wow, India is capable of hosting something as big as Formula One. All right, so there's got, and I personally have been saying this before, that it's the one event that did India a world of good, and probably the biggest event that's done India proud.
Let's talk about the Indian personalities, if you will, on the grid. We've got Force India as a team, and then of course Karan was very prevalent in the scene, and then here we have Narain Karthiyan racing this year. Is that enough?
It's not enough, but to get into Formula One, I really, would not predict another Indian making it probably for another at least 6, 8, 10 years. It's not going to be easy because reached a stage when there's enough talent available in the world, all right? And even if you've got the talent, you've got to have the financial backing to bring it. And I think India's pockets are not deep enough yet, but the national racing, okay, has developed as a spin-off from that. Okay, and that's what we've got to aim for. We've got to stabilize national sport. We've got to make the national aspiration levels high, and which is exactly how we're working here.
Let's talk about the track proper. I think the main issue last year was the dustiness. Is that something that can be combated? Any changes to the track?
Lots of changes have happened. The runoff areas have been extended where Massa crashed off last year. That's been changed. All the sausage curves have been redone. The dust is a factor because it's in the middle of a desert, all right? So dust is a factor, but the cleaning equipment is coming in from Bahrain. So we are going to be using equipment that's properly meant for the circuit. So, but, I think it does add a bit of fun to it as well.
There were some people saying that there wasn't enough of an Indian flavour. Like once in the paddock, it could have been any paddock. I wasn't there, so don't shoot the messenger.
Well, I would tend to agree because when you really walk in, it doesn't give you that, the Indian, the Indianness or the Maharaja feel, or it's not there. Yes, it's a big grey building which could have been a paddock anywhere in the world. That is certainly missing there, and I think that's something that needs to be added on, perhaps for the next year. We've had our hands full of just finishing everything in terms for this year, but I think we'll try and change that.
Vicky, Chandhok, as always, lovely talking to you. All the best for this year's Indian Grand Prix.
Thank you very much.
More Indianness, yes?
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Well, it does not get any more Indian than this. Cricket in India is huge, isn't it?
You're right, it's almost our national sport, but for 1 week in the entire year, the focus shifts from the cricket ground to the racetrack.
That's right. Now, we are going to take a short break, but when we come back, we are going to check in with the force behind Force India.
On the way there, we're going to hear from some other stars who graced the paddock last year.
It gives me hope. If we can actually build a track like this in India, it means that we can build decent roads outside as well. So, fingers crossed.
One of the most memorable moments out here for all racing fans. So they've done a fantastic job.
Look at it, it's magnificent. I mean, India is so proud today. This is definitely a jewel in India's crown.
I used to be a huge Formula One fan as a kid. Every Sunday, 2:30, I'd sit and watch it. So it's a great moment for India that finally Formula One's come to India, and what a fabulous job they've done.
You already have a cricket team. You've been interested in all sports. What about a Formula One team?
Can't afford it. Can't afford it. If I earn a little more, then inshallah.
Thank you so much.
I just found out the cost of one car. I'd make 5 films on that.
Watching Engine Block on Star Sports. Namaste. Welcome to India.
Namaste Delhi.
India रा मगन लोग लुचेयो.
सारे F1 ड्राइवर्स का दिल्ली में स्वागत है. सारे F1 ड्राइवर्स दा इंडिया विद स्वागत है.
दिल्ली मध्ये स्वागत आहे.
उजी महाराज आपका इंडिया में स्वागत है.
इंडिया आज तराम नो उपचरी.
भारत देशाనికి సుస్వాగతం.
Welcome to India. तम्मेल्लरिगो
ಹೇಳಿಗೆ
ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ.
ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਬੱਲੇ ਬੱਲੇ.
Wow, there's certainly plenty of ways to welcome you here in India. Divya, how many languages do you speak here?
Well, to be honest, it's tough to count. If you talk about Delhi, then Hindi is a widely spoken language. But if you talk about the entire country, then I'd say more than 200.
Wow, certainly very difficult to stand out in this country of over 1 billion people. But one man has managed to do that. He's been involved in motorsport since a very young age. And today, Vijay Mallya owns his own Formula One team.
Yes, his team Force India is currently 7th in the Constructors' Championship and they're hoping to put a good show over the weekend.
Let's talk about a particularly big race on the calendar for you as we come to India. How did it feel being on the starting grid for the inaugural race last year?
You know, it was a hugely emotional moment for me personally. I mean, I've headed the Motorsport Federation, which is the FIA-ASN in India for close to 3 decades. I've been involved in motorsport myself since the early 80s in India. Frankly, I never ever thought that we would actually host a Formula One race in India. It was just out of reach. In fact, my companies, and given my own passion for motor racing, we looked at staging a street race in Delhi. And I in fact called Bernie, he sent Tilke out, and we mapped out a potential street circuit, a fantastic circuit in Delhi with the Houses of Parliament, with the Presidential Palace, you know, Rashtrapati Bhavan, India Gate and so on. But then out of the blue came the JP group, said we'll put up the money, we'll build a track. I mean, I found it a little hard to believe initially, but they did it, delivered, and you know, I was so proud that the inaugural Grand Prix was absolutely flawless.
Do you think it's involved a lot more fans that would otherwise not be interested in motorsports? Did it bring in a whole new set of eyeballs?
India is a country blessed with a very young demographic, and motorsport, with all its thrills and glamour, really appeals to youngsters. It gets the adrenaline pumping, and India has more of these potential eyeballs than most countries in the world. And so yes, the answer is a very, very emphatic yes. It also helped put India, per se, on the world map as a vibrant, modern country. You don't normally hear of some poor developing nation hosting something like Formula One. The fact that in India we have a world-class track, the drivers have rated it perhaps amongst one of the best tracks in the world, conducted, as I said, flawlessly. And so the country has something to be proud of as well.
You have mentioned and been waxing lyrical on what a good job they did, but any improvements that you can think of as we come into this second race?
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the drivers who drive on the track. And they endorsed the track wholeheartedly last year. So I don't know what sort of improvement, other than maybe correcting the cornerstones and some corners or stuff like that. But other than that, I don't think that there is any major deficiency that needs to be addressed.
Vijay, finally, Paul and Nico are your dream team for the moment. But one day, will we have an Indian driver driving in Force India?
Well, I've committed that we will find an Indian driver to drive for us. We've launched the 1 in a billion hunt. We have the Sahara Force India Academy. We currently have 3 kids who we identified, doing karting in England. They're doing all right, I have to say. So I'm quietly optimistic that we will produce an Indian Formula One driver for us over a period of time. It's not going to happen, immediately, but it will happen.
Vijay, thank you for your time. All the best for the rest of 2012 to begin with. Thank you, sir.
So that was Vijay Mallya sharing his grand plan of having an Indian driver for his Formula One team sometime in the future. But his current lineup is in town for the upcoming Indian Grand Prix. So what have they and some other drivers been up to off the track? Let's find out. Nico, how did you put together that look?
Well, I've just chosen, my personal favorites. And then selected the model, but yeah, I guess it's just a bit of what you like personally and what I would wear, and that's what I've selected.
What about you, Paul?
Everybody has their own style, and we were asked to go around the shop and choose something that, picked out our personality slightly.
Well, I still have to do the shopping myself because, you know, you have to try some things. But I'm not a shopping queen, but I buy stuff all around the world.
Three, two, one! Alright, there we have Lewis Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of your eyes. Let's have a big hand for him, come on!
All right, I guess it's time for us to get a little local flavor of our own. We're at a Nimbu Pani stall, Divya?
You're right. It's like a local lemonade, to put it simply for you. So
Okay.
it's part of the Indian adventure, part of the local flavor.
Okay.
And you've got to try it out.
All right.
So here is your Nimbu Pani.
Thank
And
you very
try
much.
to Tell me how it is.
This is safe to drink, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely safe to drink. It's an Indian adventure, so you've got to try it out.
There's just something about her look that I'm just really not convinced, but we're going to take a short break.
On the other side, we're going to talk to Naren Karthiyan, and hopefully Sanjeev will also be on the show with us. Be right back.
It's nice, you know, to get the attention and to get to see, you know, that everybody's supporting it and following what we do. So from that point of view, that only motivates us more to do a good result on the weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely chaos, and it's a very different culture, but one that's very friendly and nice to visit.
What's your impression been of the country so far?
It's pretty chaotic. so dramatic, so different.
It's just great and exciting.
The people is very emotional, very simple and very friendly.
You can just see with people that they're not spoiled and they're just happy about life and enjoy every moment in their point of view.
Everywhere I've been, the food's been amazing and the people have been so friendly.
Culturally, you know, it's a pretty special country.
How are you enjoying the Budh International Circuit?
Very nice.
The track is very interesting, I'd say. One of the best ones they've done for a long time.
Very nice. New ideas for corner.
Circuit is quite interesting to drive.
It's a fantastic track, really. They've done a great job here. Even one of the best in the year, you know.
When you let the Formula One car breathe, that's what the cars are also smiling as well as the drivers. So that's a good challenge for us.
Welcome back to a special episode of Engine Block Web Road Trip all the way to India. And you can't say you've been to India unless you've actually had a taste of Bollywood, which is why I've come to India's very own answer to Broadway, the Kingdom of Dreams. Now, speaking of dreams, one man living the dream at the moment is Naren Karthiyan. He is the only Indian on the starting grid so far. And he's talking to Paula about the potential of getting another one on the starting grid real soon.
Let's talk about the Indian Grand Prix. This is massive for you. You know, Naren, you're going to go back, superstar, the first ever Indian Formula One driver. What is it like for you when we come to this particular stop on the calendar?
Last year was mega, you know, it was the first Indian Grand Prix and I was the only Indian driver on the grid, and you know a lot of people are genuinely supporting you, and to drive in front of your home Grand Prix is a very special feeling. I was at the track 2 days before and I was doing some work to develop the new Formula 3 series in India, and the track is fantastic, you know. There are no bumps, it's much cleaner this year, no dust like last year because there was a lot of construction happening. So the track looks fantastic and they've improved all the other areas. So I think it'll be, for people who are coming here this year, I think they're going to be surprised.
So let's talk about the pressure for that stop. Is it nerve-wracking for you?
Last year was kind of nerve-wracking, and this year I just want to enjoy it. I just want to focus on the driving alone and let someone else let other people do other work, and that's how it's going to be fun. That's what I want to do. Whether it's possible or not, it's easy to sit here and say, but I'll try my best to keep away from the rest and just drive and enjoy the race the whole weekend.
Just drive and drive fast. Finally, Narain, anything that you want to say to your bajillions of Indian fans who are watching this?
I mean, it's just awesome to drive in Formula One and to be here, and if I'm there, given the opportunity, there could be a lot of other people who could make it to Formula One, and like any other sport, I think it's not come easy. I've been the pioneer in this field from India, so you have to put in the hard hours of work and everything else, and you reap the benefits. Like I'm living my dream now, and obviously you have to be at the right place at the right time, as they say, and things will happen. If you have talent, you can. I think you can go all the way. And India motorsport is picking up a lot, and I think it's the right time for a young driver to make himself get into the sport.
Well, as a pioneer, you've certainly helped a lot of these aspiring drivers. Narain, all the best this weekend. All the best for the rest of 2012. Thank you for your time, as always.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
So let's move on from our home hero to our reigning world champion. Sebastian Vettel mastered the 5.125 kilometer track last year. Here's the German giving us a flying lap of the Buddh International Circuit.
Namaste from the Buddh International Circuit in India. Let's do a lap. Full throttle, curse on, catch a good position for turn 1, the first chance to overtake. Brake late but hard, down into second gear. Back on power, slightly uphill towards turn 3, at 80 the slowest turn on the circuit. And accelerate hard for the longest straight. Rear wing open, slipstream all in. With 320 top speed down into a slight dip. Immediately uphill again into turn 4, from 320 down to 100, without locking up a front wheel. Into sector 2, 5 quick turns, a real slalom that needs lots of rhythm and precision. Theoretically, there's room for several cars next to each other here. Despite the wide track, it sometimes can get cramped. Uphill again, almost flying blind into turn 10. A long drawn-out 215-degree loop with several apexes. Avoid much braking action, keeping the speed up at about 200. Downhill into the last sector, quick and tricky. Turn 14, the track is again seductively wide, but still not enough room for risky maneuvers. Turn 16, the last one. Downhill race with hard braking, from 260 down to 100. Buddh International Circuit, an unusual track, peppered with difficult spots and fantastic chicanes. India, that's going to be a tough race, which really challenges us drivers. Can't wait.
So that was Sebastian Vettel giving us a tour of the Buddh International Circuit.
Which is exactly where we will be all weekend long. It is a big week for India, and it's a big week for you, our viewers, because we're going to bring you all sessions live.
And it all starts on Friday with free practice 1 and free practice 2.
And then on Saturday, we've got free practice 3 live, and then a special 30-minute pre-show ahead of qualifying. And on Sunday,
it's race day padded special.
It's going to be a big show with Paula, Mallya, Ali, Steve Dawson, Steve Slater, me and Alex in India. It is huge, and be sure to catch all of it right here on Star Sports.
Sanjeev, we've done a fair bit of sightseeing now. Time to get down to business.
I know it seems like such a shame to leave the Kingdom of Dreams. This is a beautiful place, but we do have to head to the Buddh International Circuit. I hope we've got you up to speed ahead of the big Indian Grand Prix weekend.
Yes, there's a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement about the Formula One race coming back to India for the second year round. Hope you're going to be there.
Now, last year round, the grandstands, they were packed, so I can only imagine the same this year round. We're going to leave you with who we think the fans are going to be cheering for this time around.
Yes, enjoy this, and we'll catch you from the circuit now.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Go Narain!
From my side, Force India, all the best.
Go Ferrari!
This is to Lewis Hamilton. You go out there and you drive your heart out in the Indian Formula One Grand Prix.
Cheer for your team.
Go Force India!
Go Hamilton, go! Go Naren, take us down!
All the best, Sebastian.
Force India! Go for it!
From India, we support you, Alonso. Dai cazzo, vai!
Sebastian Vettel, all the best. Jensen Button for the win.
Hey, come on, Shumi.
Get on the podium. Rock Naren, make India proud. See you at the Indian Grand Prix.
At the Perth International Circuit.